Baby, down in Santa Clara, Joe Shasky the Butcher, Bonta Hill, as we open up a new season, a new journey, the beginning of the 2024 season as training camp begins today. The veterans checked in yesterday, including Brendan Ayuk. Shanahan spoke a lot, Shasky, but you heard that highlight right there, Kevin Burkhardt, Fox Sports, and that was the last time we were down here in this area, Shasky, at Levi Stadium, Sunday, January 28th, when you want to call it a miracle, but the Niners rally from a 24-7 deficit at halftime in the NFC Championship game and outlast the Lions 34-31, and it was nothing but joy. As we were getting ready for Las Vegas, so we ended our year at Levi Stadium on a high note, our season that is, and now we are back. It's hot, it's beautiful, and the boys are ready to get after it, man. Woo! 49ers football is back.
Well, you might not have been down this way for quite some time. I've been down at Twin Creeks in Sunnyvale, which is like 2 exits over, probably 4 or 5 times playing baseball down here with my team. But no, it's really, as the sun rises on Levi Stadium, as we get ready for a new season, it does feel like the sun is now rising for the football season. As I see other teams reporting to camp, you see other wide receivers not showing up while ours is holding in. And I want to start with him right now. But I'm very optimistic and excited for a new 49er season. You know, this team is a juggernaut. They drive us crazy, and they've lost a lot of just monster games. They've won a lot of monster games too. And they bring us so much joy just in our lives, you know, during the
stress.
No doubt, but like during the winter time as the leaves begin to fall and it gets colder and all those things. Like I think about where the Niners were a decade ago, saying goodbye to Jim Harbaugh.
Right.
And one of the best things they've done in the last 40, 50 years of this organization was hire Kyle Shanahan. And so I'm excited. I know there's a lot of sound that he had to say with Tim Kawakami on the TK podcast, but I mean, it's a new year.
It is.
And they've set their sights very high, as they should.
You know, Shanahan mentioned on the TK podcast that we've been favored in basically every game for the last 2 years. Who does that? I mean, this roster is loaded. And when you think about Shanahan beginning his 8th season as head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, and there's no end in sight. There's no end in sight. The seat's not hot. The seat's not lukewarm. This guy can be here for as long as he wants right now. He may have a Belichick-type run here with the 49ers. He's been here that long. And you think about the roster that he's built alongside John Lynch, the GM, obviously coming over from the broadcast booth when Shanahan was hired 2 weeks after the fact. They are rolling right now. And you look at the overall record of Shanahan through 7 years, and you see 64-51. But really, that first year was a rebuilding season.
They're expansion team.
They were an expansion team, and they were built from the ground up, and they get the quarterback. He gets hurt the next season in week 3. But over the last 5 years, where Shanahan has finally had all his toys, he's got his edge rusher, he's got his tight end, and for the most part now he's got his running back. The 49ers in the regular season, the last 5 years under Kyle Shanahan, are 54-29, and they're 8-4 in the playoffs. And it's played a plethora of primetime games. They have been one of the best teams in the NFL. They have become relevant. They are Mr. Prime Time. Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, holiday football, doesn't matter. People need to see the 49ers here, and that's all due to the brain and the genius of Kyle Shanahan. And to go inside his mind with Tim Kawakami, I know we're going to start with Ayuk because that was some shocking news. He did come to camp. You know why? Because Ayuk wants to be part of this team. He wants to roll. Now, we'll get to the compensation on whether or not he should get paid or whatnot, whether or not he's going to play on the $14.1 million. But Shanahan's beginning his 8th season. They got the right guy. They got the right guy. They hit a home run with it. It may have been obvious hire like Jim Harbaugh, but unlike Jim Harbaugh, they stuck with Kyle Shanahan through the thick and thin. And so he's one of the best head coaches in the NFL right now. I feel really good about that.
You know, I think about you raising your daughter, me raising my son in this area. We grew up fans, right? When we were growing up, Montana Young, who did you like? Right? Jerry Rice, Brent Jones, and, you know, Ricky Waters later, but Roger Craig and Ronnie Lott. So there were all these players that you could gravitate toward. When you're thinking about the Warriors, right? Obviously Steph Curry right now. It's clear. And they just said goodbye to Klay Thompson, who is just an all-time warrior. He stayed 13 years, 14 years with the team. They got Draymond Green. There have been some elite players that the community gravitates toward. I look at the San Francisco Giants of the prior generation.
Right.
There were so many guys that you could connect to. Tim Lincecum and Hunter Pence and Buster Posey and Brandon Crawford and Matt Cain. Everybody had their favorite. Think about this Niner generation. Yeah. There are going to be kids like ours who are going to come out of this generation. I don't know, was your favorite CMC? Was your favorite Nick Bosa? Was your favorite Fred Warner? Was it George Kittle? Was it Debo? Was it Purdy? Was it Brandon Ayuk? I mean, was it Dre Greenlaw? Right. They have some of the best players that the Niners have drafted in years. Yeah. And then they've made great trades. They've got, trying to even bring up Trent Williams. Yeah. You've got a coach who is as popular in terms of his face, like facial recognition, as any coach in the league right now. I mean, he's so popular, he buys a flat brim hat at the team store, and the entire fan base buys it as well.
Sell out. If he would have kept his mustache, I wonder how many people would have grown mustache.
I'm kind of glad he cut it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just way too many questions about the mustache. Let's play football, folks. He cut his mustache off. I mean, come on. I don't care if the guy's got a beard. I don't care if he's got the Fu Manchu. The guy can coach football. And he's got a juggernaut here with this organization and the setting that they're in. And you hear the way T.J. Houshmandzadeh spoke about Shanahan yesterday with Willard Dibs. I thought it was a very riveting interview with T.J. Houshmandzadeh. He goes, Shanahan, be careful what you wish for. If you are thinking that Shanahan needs to move on or that you need a new head coach, and you see it all the time with Steve Kerr, despite the 4 banners. You're thinking Steve Kerr's an all-time great. Well, Shanahan, despite missing that Lombardi, how many big games? I'll go back to John Madden, the great John Madden, rest in peace. When they asked him, when they lost at Three River Stadium against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they asked him, he said, boy, you can't win these big games. And he goes, what are you talking about? These are all big games. And we won plenty of them to be in this position to play for championships. And the Niners in 4 of the last 5 years have been in a position to play championships. Now, they haven't sealed the deal, but damn it, at least you're in the conversation. And that's a lot to say. As we watched the Giants last night stumble in Dodger Stadium once again, and I'm watching Randy Rodriguez, and I'm watching Jordan Hicks struggle to get through 4. We know the baseball team is not in a position to contend for championships, and it's driving us all crazy. At least we know as we begin training camp today, and we see these Galaxy as stars, and you see number 23, Christian McCaffrey, and you see a rookie in Ricky Pearsall. Maybe he practices, maybe he doesn't, but you got Cowing, you got these 2 young running backs, the one out of Louisville. You got Elijah Mitchell coming for a spot. Jordan Mason saying, what about me? The competition just to get on the football field for this team. Think about what this guy has built under his tutelage by year 8.
I know.
You've got the top 100 littered with 49ers. All pro teams littered with 49ers. Guys all want big money because you got so many damn good players. And it's all due to the brilliance of Kyle Shanahan alongside John Lynch.
And for the first time in what feels like forever, we're not really talking about the quarterback other than how much money he's going to make a year from now.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's crazy.
It's refreshing, quite honestly. Yeah. It's refreshing to have some solidification, if you will, at the quarterback position. I want to start with Brandon Ayuk. This team has changed.